Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Super Feeler podcast. My name is Lori, and this is a part of our BPD Relationships Mini Series. I am beyond excited to have a familiar face, Katie, here, who you will have. If you're part of the Super Feelers Club, you'll know Katie. If you are not part of the Super Feelers Club and just listen to the podcast, her solo episode was out in April, so you can go back and listen to that if you'd like. But we're joined today by a super special guest, Carl, who is Katie's husband, relatively new husband.
Yes. It'll be a year. Excited. It'll be a year in about 2 weeks, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right, because it was around Halloween. Okay, yes, I remember now. I love it. Cool. Well, let's get started then and see a little bit about how you guys got together. When did you meet? You got married last year. Can you give us the rundown?
Originally, how I met her was I was working down at a harbor restaurant down in Fort Bragg. It was called Sea Pal. I was a cook in the back. One day, we heard that we got someone new that was going to be working the front. And then lo and behold, she comes walking in the back door, just walked straight past everybody, didn't even care. Like I'm just here to earn my paycheck and, get out of here, So it was kind of, we got slowly introduced. I think one day right before a lunch rush, she was working the front, she said hi and I said hi, and that was about it until I think it was one day in the summer that we had just a really long day in the back. We were slammed. Me and my coworker at the time, we wanted, we're like, screw it, we're gonna stay, after work, have a beer because it was free at the time, for us to have, a drink after work, relax, hang out by the bonfire that's out on the dock, just hang out and bullshit. Had a couple beers, come back, we're a little buzzed.
I was still working.
She was still working at the time.
Clarify.
She wasn't
he
off.
Was off the clock. I was not.
Right. Yeah, I got off at about 7. She wasn't off at until 9 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
This is about, I think, probably 8:30 or something, 8:45, somewhere close to where things were winding down. They were closing up the back, and keep the taps open.
To come back right when she was about to be off. Yeah.
Well, we were just hanging out. We wanted another beer to actually, because we were in. And then my coworker is like, "Hey, you want to smoke a joint? Just hang out." And he's like, "Okay." And then I guess she heard that phrase, and she's like, "Hey, I'll smoke a joint." And we're like, that's fine. Yeah, come hang out. You're off in 15 minutes. We're just gonna be hanging out in his car. So, and then I can let her take.
How long had you been working there at the time?
I had been working there for about 3 or 4 months. I started.
Pretty new still, Katie?
Yeah, I started in March, so they let me hang out in the off season, get used to everything, and then they threw me to the wolves.
Nice.
I had been working there for about maybe 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay, so brand new. Nice.
I was brand new. I had just gotten out of a really bad relationship. I was mentally checked out long before it ended. And yeah, you baby can continue.
Well, I mean, you can continue after the part about how we were hanging out and
Then you show up.
Yeah.
So this is my favorite story to tell. I love this story. So I had gotten off work. They were already in our coworker's car. There were 3 of them there. CJ, I call him CJ, by the way. There was CJ, another coworker, and then a third coworker. Well, the second coworker whose car it was sitting in the driver's seat. CJ was in the passenger seat, and the other coworker was in the back seat. And I just kind of went over to the passenger side and leaned in the window next to CJ, all kind of hey, what's up? And it just kind of progressed from there. And then we all started to smoke the joint and stuff. And I wanted to sit down because I had a long ass night.
Yeah, I bet.
And so my coworker went to go move the car seat out of the back. And I snuck my way into the driver's seat next to CJ and was just like this. I was just gone with him the rest of the night.
You were already into it, yeah.
I was so smitten with him. Smitten is a really good way to put it because I was just completely infatuated. I could not stop staring at him. And then it was getting super late, and we were like you said, we worked in the harbor, and so it was a pretty far drive, pretty steep walk for them. So I offered to drive him and the other coworker home. I dropped the other coworker off and dropped CJ off, and then I went back to my hotel room and I found CJ on Facebook. I did a little investigating. And I found him and I messaged him and I'm just like, hi, I think you're super cool. Like, it was fun hanging out with you. And then he invited me over the next night to watch the movie Euro Trip. And the rest is history.
We all know how that night ended.
No, it didn't actually.
It didn't? Oh my
No.
God. Well, look at you.
That took about 2 to 3 months or weeks. I think it was months.
Like, I don't know. I can't
Either
remember
way, it
the
felt
exact
like
time
months, I'm
frame.
sure. Yeah. And so, sorry, what year was this?
That was in 2023.
2023, yeah.
2023.
That was
And then
in
you were
May.
together for like not even a year, right? Before you got married?
We were together for a year and some odd months.
Oh, okay, right. I'm
It would
out a year, right.
be a year and 4 months that we
Okay.
were together before we got married.
Katie, you have kids.
I do.
Carl, do you have kids?
I do not.
Okay, cool.
None that I
That's
know
just helpful
about.
Context. Yeah, well, there's time. No. Okay, so then at what point, Katie, did you already have a BPD diagnosis at this point?
Yeah, I had gotten my BPD. I was 24, 25 when I met CJ. I got my BPD diagnosis when I was 18 or 19.
Right, okay. And then so how did you bring that up to Carl?
I was just honest with him.
From the beginning?
Yeah. I was just like, well, because my ex made me go crazy, so I was just like, yeah, I'm crazy.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact day, like the conversation, like we sat down and had this, like the exact conversation about it.
Right.
You know? But I do remember we did have that conversation because it would brought up about a lot of stuff that happened in her past relationship. She's like, oh, and then this is on top of all that. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, because your last relationship was real shit.
Yeah.
So
you can listen about it on the other episode.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, we don't need to go through the whole thing, but you talk about it a lot on the other episode. So then, did you know what borderline personality disorder was? Had you heard about it?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't actually like BPD. I guess she brought this up to me that she would be like, oh yeah, it's like, oh, it's people think like, oh, there's bipolar disorder, and it's like, no, it's not. It's just this is this, and I'm like, okay, and I'm like, but what is that? You know?
Right. Totally. Yeah. And what was that conversation like? Did you go home and Google it or ask questions?
I did ask some questions about it, and then she was like pretty straightforward about it. And like from my understanding now, she just feels her emotions way stronger than most people do, and that's perfectly okay. And so I'm still learning that I don't always have to go into fix it mode too. Is the other thing. Like whenever she's upset, that I don't need to fix everything, that she just wants to feel her emotions or she just wants to vent. And I'm like, okay, I need to understand that.
That takes some learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's so brilliant. And Katie, how does it feel to know that you're supported in that way and understood?
After 4 years of not being supported, and more than that, my whole life, basically, it feels really, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's very refreshing to finally have a partner in my life. Oh, my parents' cat's gonna come make an appearance. I know you love cats. Okay.
I love cats. Gus was screaming from the other room on an episode today, so you're good. Two doors away, Shannon heard him all the way from Australia on an episode today. Hello, baby.
His name is Snow.
Hello, Snow.
I'm allergic.
Oh.
She's seeping.
It's worth it. Oh, what a cutie.
Okay, thank you, Snow. Anyways, Snow distracted me.
That's fair. I think I asked, how does it feel to be like supported and understood like that?
It feels so great. You know, it's nice to have a partner who understands that I'm still normal with my BPD.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm still just like everybody else. I just feel my emotions on a deeper level than a person who doesn't have it. And he's very accepting. Can you get your butt out of my face, please? He's
I love that the
very.
people on audio are going to have no idea who you're talking about.
I'm talking about my parents' cat. He's sitting right in front of the camera, and it's very annoying and frustrating.
Yeah, he wants to be the
Cat
center of
self-up.
attention right now.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's nice to have a partner who actually accepts me and understands that some days I need to feel the way that I feel without anybody trying to fix it, like he said.
Yeah. That
I
cat
still have
loves you.
difficulty with that, though.
I
Yeah,
bet.
it's very hard because I don't like seeing her upset, and I always want to try and figure out why she's upset.
Right.
And sometimes I don't always know how to say it. I don't always know how to put it to words. I think you can understand that, Lori. Like,
Yeah.
I don't always understand.
Or you don't even know.
Yeah, that's the
I
other
don't
thing.
even
She's
know
like,
how
I
I'm
don't.
feeling.
She's like, I don't know why I'm angry, and I'm like, okay, I understand.
And then he
And
tries
is that like
to
a
ask,
really foreign concept for you, Carl? Like,
yeah, it's
like,
hard
do you
to.
feel like that ever, personally?
Maybe when I was younger,
Right.
but not so much now. It takes a lot to get me really angry. Like she knows. Like I don't think she's actually ever seen me like extremely angry before.
Yeah.
So.
Well, honestly, that's good because I think that's exactly what we need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone who's very chill.
He's so chill. Oh my God. He's the chillest person I've ever been with.
Yeah.
He's great.
And you just always have been, hey? Like, it's pretty much. Okay. Not quite. Okay. Tell me more.
Maybe not in my teenage years, but I grew up with two older brothers, so.
Right.
And I'm the youngest.
So you've kind of chilled out over time.
Well, I'm the youngest, and they, they like to establish, who the hierarchy of, how brothers are. So I got picked on, but that's just because I'm the younger brother.
Right. Yeah.
But
so, how old are you now?
I am 31. I can't believe I had to think about that for a second.
I saw that.
My birthday's in 2 weeks, and I actually was like, am I turning 32 or 33? And I had to ask someone else because I could not figure it out. I was like, wow, this is wild.
Now we're past the age where like numbered or like there's no like goals. Maybe 40 or 50, like it goes by decades now.
Totally, literally. And that's easy because we can just do the math.
Yeah, right? But like, anything in between, is just, it kind of just blurs together. You just forget.
Totally. And you're a bit younger than that, Katie, right?
Yeah, I'm 27.
You're like 28? 27, okay.
Yeah.
So what does... Okay, well, I have so many questions. I'm not going in order of my planned out questions, which is making myself confused. So it sounds like, obviously, this is a really healthy and supportive relationship for you, Katie.
Yeah.
Both of you, I'm assuming. But what is a healthy and supportive relationship look like for the two of you?
I would like to think about having someone there that is willing to talk things out when like disagreements happen, or just willing to hear the other person's side before like jumping to conclusions. I just want to be, communication is so important. Like in a relationship, it is so important. If there is no communication, then there's no point. Like if you guys can't talk it out, you're gonna blow up eventually, Like, so I just feel like communication is really big, and just also having someone there willing to support you through hard times.
Mm-hmm. And you guys have been through some hard times even in the first year of your relationship.
Yeah. The first year of our marriage, was the first couple months were really rough.
Yeah. Which did we talk about in that first episode? I think we did.
I think we touched on it briefly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you want to give the 30-second version of what happened, just in case anybody didn't listen to that?
Essentially, him and I moved up to Oregon like a week after we got married, with some friends of mine who
I wouldn't call them friends anymore.
I wouldn't call them friends anymore either. But with some very...
Sorry. No, you didn't know that at the time, right?
Yeah, no, I
reasonable
did not.
people. And it was, they lied to us the whole time. I was basically their children's caretaker for 3 months. The mom was out doing God knows what at God knows night, and the straw for CJ was when the girls threw my mental health in my face. And the straw for me was when they put my type 1 diabetic's husband's insulin outside in the rain on top of my car in winter weather where it could have gotten. Ugh, I can't.
Yeah,
spoiled.
it was just basically she brought up how her BPD diagnosis like affects her and how she's quick to jump to like her emotions are like very strong and how she's very quick to like get angry or vice versa or like and I was trying to like explain that like you guys need to like tone it down, like quit pushing her buttons because you're just going to make it worse. And then she flat out looked at me and told me, well, that just sounds like an excuse. And I'm like, okay, I'm done. This conversation's over. And then I walked in. Then I walked into the room and I'm like, we're leaving. And she's like, I get it.
And so our parents were both of our parents, that's of parents, his mom and my mom, my dad, his dad, worked together to rent a U-Haul and drive up there and help us pack up the bedroom and come back to Fort Bragg.
And I mean, I remember obviously when that was going on, just through conversations that we've had, and like that's the short version of it, but it was shit from pretty much day one, which super sucks.
I think the other thing is that you can tell from like how she is now compared to when she was up there, like her mood is completely different and like less stressed. So,
well, if you're not living in a emotionally or physically safe environment, then how do you cope, right?
Yeah. Especially if there's really no place to go on top of that.
Exactly. Right, because you didn't know anyone, right? No. And I don't think you had found a job yet when this all was going on. So it's not like you were
I was like in the process of finding a job. And then when I finally got one, like I was going to start like the next week and then everything just fell apart. And then I was like, well, luckily I was like, I'm going to call them and be like, I know that they just offered me this job. I'm going to be like, I have to tell them that we have to move back. Like, I'm not going to just leave them high and dry. So I was like,
yeah, for sure.
And they're like, well, thank you so much for calling us and telling us what happened, like that you have to move back. They're like, I'm sorry. That's how it worked out. And I'm like, it was either that or we live out of her car. And I don't think either of us wanted to do that at the time.
Or now, probably.
No.
So I'm going to detract from a little bit. And then Katie, I'm going to ask you that healthy relationship question in a sec. So when you were in this situation in Oregon and this person was like throwing BPD in your face and Katie's face, basically judging her based on her diagnosis. Have you run into any other situations, Carl, where you've told somebody about her diagnosis and it's been a negative reaction?
Not so much as a negative reaction. It's more like, oh, like they've heard like the stigmatized versions of like, oh, these people are like, oh, they're manipulative. Oh, they're like, they like grow out to be like killers and stuff. I'm like, no, that's not how it works.
Not the situation.
Most of the time it comes from upbringing and the situation that they're put in that drives them to those situations. So it's like, So
I love that you know that. And so you're able to be like, whoa, what your perception of this is wrong.
Well, yeah. And especially like after they get to know her, they're like, oh, okay, now I kind of understand what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
It's not all like this.
Yeah. And it's also not all sunshines and rainbows.
No.
But it's really, we're good people. We're good people who are just trying to survive in a world that does
As I've come to realize, you guys are very empathetic. Like it is, you can feel people's emotions and understand if they're feeling upset or if they're sad or if there's something off. You'd be like, okay, are you okay?
Yeah. It is truly a superpower and also really sucks sometimes because I, like Katie, I'm sure you are similar, but I will walk into a room sometimes and I can feel the energies of everybody there, and I take all of them on. Like anybody's pain, sadness, trauma, anger is like suddenly like on me and I can't get it out. So it's awesome because I can see through people's like, how are you? Oh, I'm great. And I can see through that shit, and I can get people to tell me what's actually like. Yeah, I literally say, how are you really? Or that's not convincing. Those are my two answers all the time. And it almost always works. But at the same time, it also means that I take a lot of that on. And that's really hard to live with. So, Katie, what is your last relationship was horribly abusive and you were constantly gaslit and told you were crazy and all of these things. How is this one so different and healthy for you?
I feel like you can just hear it, like just that.
Yes, I can. That sigh.
That sigh of relief, you know. He doesn't judge me. He doesn't make me feel stupid. He doesn't make me feel bad for having my emotions. He, oh my gosh, he's just amazing. I could talk about him forever. When I am having one of my moments, as I call them, my BPD moments, he's there for me. You know, he is constantly making sure I have anything that I need. He's telling me how much he loves me all the time, reminding me how beautiful I am and how much of our and he not just tells me, but he shows me that I'm a priority too. And since my last relationship, I'm more of an action girl than a words girl. So actions speak a lot louder than words. Actions match his words. You know, as I said in my vows, like he's the kind of person to, or as I explain to people all the time, not in my vows, but he's the kind of person to watch me cry, pick me up, wipe off my tears, dust my shoulders, hold my hand, and keep walking down the path of life with me. He's not in front of me, he's not behind me, he's not even 2 steps in front of me, he's right next to me. And we are walking this path together, and that it's everything.
Oh, I fucking love you guys. This has got to be my favorite mini series I've ever done because I like Carl. I love Katie to pieces, and it's so funny because like we've never met, and we may never meet, but it doesn't matter because I fucking love you guys, and I know, and to see you two together and to be like, it feels like I'm seeing the other part of you, Katie, which you know we hear about in groups and whatever, but to be able to see the smile on Carl's face while Katie's describing that, like I'm literally emotional right now. It's so beautiful. So, Carl, I mean, I think it's safe to say that being married or in a relationship with somebody who has borderline personality disorder, especially when you're super chill, like you are, and like my husband is, and like most people's partners are when they have this disorder, I think, when it's going really well, at least, it can be really confusing when she says, like, I don't know why I'm mad, but I hate everything right now. What do you do about
I've heard that one before,
what's
actually.
the most confusing part?
It's I think the most confusing part is trying to figure out just why, like what led her to get to that point, and then her just be like, I don't know why. And I'm just like, okay, that's the most confusing part for me because generally, you know, most of the time there's like a root cause to someone to get that angry about something. So
Yeah.
that's just the one thing that's confusing to me, and that's something that I'm learning that normally is just not the case. Like some people can just get angry and then I just let them need to express how they feel, and then they'll come down and be like, okay, maybe this is why.
Right.
Or
Yeah, because there's probably like some cause, but you might not know what that cause is in the moment.
because the logical, as she likes to put it, the logical side of my brain just shuts off, and then
Totally.
my whole emotional side is taking over. So I just need
You talking about wise mind.
I need
love
to
this.
I need to calm down.
Totally. My favorite example of this, which I think we talked about in the episode that I did on this series, is like my husband at one point, I was giving him the silent treatment and I was so mad. He's like, "Are you mad at me because I'm jealous or because I'm not jealous enough?" And I was like, "Both." And then I just like continued to give him the silent treatment for like 4 hours and he was like, "Great.
Okay.
Thank you. That's super helpful."
All right.
That's such a me thing.
I know. It was so funny. He was just like, "Okay, cool." So that was a really useful answer to that question.
All right, I'm gonna give you some time, and then we'll revisit this question later.
Yeah, let's give it 24 hours. So when you are in that place where you're like, I can see that she's feeling these really intense emotions, and you don't physically feel them or understand necessarily how that happens. How do you keep yourself well? Because that is hard to watch and to not be able to help.
I still have difficulty with that because I like to go into fix-it mode. She likes to call me Bob the Builder at that point, but
I love it.
Sometimes I just gotta realize that I can't fix it. So for me, it's just trying to like take a deep breath and then like figure out if she needs her space or if she needs something that like occupy her time, and then we'll just revisit it later. And I'll ask her, I'll be like, so I'm not just up and leaving or like giving like into anything else, like that I'm just like, I'm not coming back, or like I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna step outside, give you your space, which I need to do more. I have difficulty with that, but I just feel like that she just needs her space in those situations, or I just need to help myself and like remind myself that that's the case, that she just keep reminding myself not to take it personally. I feel like.
Yeah, because it's really not most of the time.
Oh no, it is 100% not.
Yeah. Katie, can you remind me, have you done DBT before?
No, there isn't a group available, so I've been listening to the podcast, and I've also, when I get paid, I really want to get the workbook.
Oh yeah, the workbook's awesome.
I also want to get I don't want to say her name on the podcast, but in our group,
the Mindful Wildflower.
I want to get her deck. Yeah,
I know. I do too. And what's so funny is we were literally talking about getting, she was going to mail me one, and then our postal service went on strike like the same day.
I heard about that.
So we're like, shit. So what I was going to say is that's kind of even more amazing because Carl is using so many DBT skills in his answers to these questions that he doesn't even probably know. I've heard wise mind. I've heard radical acceptance. I've heard the stop skill. And you're just naturally good at this kind of thing, it sounds like. Yeah, I love all of your answers. They're very DBT focused, which you don't even know, which is even the best part. So Carl, if you were to meet somebody, let's say that you work with, that is starting to date somebody that, and they say, hey, my girlfriend or boyfriend just told me that I have BPD, what would you give them as advice?
Be patient and just listen to them. That's the only thing that I could like generally is like just be patient and just be open to listening to them, because sometimes they don't know how they're feeling, but they might know later. So it's just, you just have to be patient, I feel, is the main thing.
Totally. Yeah. And I mean, it sounds like you've really learned a lot about either BPD or Katie's experience with BPD at the very least. So you're able to kind of
I would like to think, yeah,
things.
like at least listen
it
to
seems
her.
That way.
Listen to her when she's talked about it. So, and I've also asked her questions about it. So, anything I can do to help make her life easier is what I want.
No, I love it. She's like, oh, I've got a list if you want.
Yeah, I bet she probably does. Yeah.
Truly. Yeah, I have no doubt. Every time my husband's like, there's nothing else for me to do, I'm like, oh, okay.
You want some things to do?
I have a literal list. Okay, so Katie, over to you. So one of the symptoms of BPD for some people is this lack of sense of self, or kind of chameleoning, I don't think that's a word, but it is now, into other people around them. So is that something that you struggle with generally? And how do you make sure, if so, how do you make sure you don't lose yourself in a relationship?
I feel like it did in my last relationship. I definitely, in my last relationship, I definitely did chameleon myself to match my partner. But with CJ, he encourages me to be myself. He encourages me to do my own thing, and he wants me to be my own, just us. And so I feel like that's very helpful. I'm constantly doing something, and he's making sure that I'm okay, and that But CJ does his own thing, and I do my own thing. He's more of a video gamer. I'm more of an artsy, crafty type person. I knit. I do my diameter. I read video games, and he watches TV. You know, and so I don't really play video games. They've never really interested me, so that definitely helps in that sense. Um, CJ, he's like the opposite in that sense, which I definitely do feel helps. Opposites attract.
Mm-hmm. And I think like for us, opposites help find that middle ground that we need sometimes. Because if we were both super, imagine if you were both super like volatile or emotional all the time, you would just blow each other up. Exactly. You just blow each other up constantly, and there's no point because it's never going to be even. And no relationship's like fully even, but at least even-ish, you know? So speaking of that, have you ever, Carl, are you aware of the concept of splitting?
That's this or that. Like there's no like gray area. It's either this or it's this.
Yeah, and it's usually like relationship focused. So like you're the greatest human on earth, or I hate everything about you, and that's never going to change. So, Katie, have you ever experienced splitting on Carl?
Not on him, but I've done it around him about other people, but not on him because I could never hate this individual. Like, I don't think there's a bone in my body that could even remotely think about hating him because he's the greatest thing that's besides my son that has ever happened to me. And I do it around him about other people, not on him.
Mm-hmm. That makes
Because
sense.
I'm worried that like it's gonna scare him in a sense. I don't want to scare my husband. That would suck.
Yeah. It does, for sure. And has she scared you, Carl?
I don't know if I want to hear the answer to this, but answer it.
Okay, that's fair.
No, answer it. Answer it. I'm curious.
Not for my safety, but for her own. And that was probably when we were up in Oregon. Is the one that, because I've never seen her that angry before. And when they put my insulin outside, she just lost it. So
yeah, I mean, I heard that story like days later, and you were fucking mad.
Yeah, she still is mad.
And I don't blame you. Yeah,
if it wasn't for CJ being in the middle of me and her, I absolutely would have. She would have caught these hands because if it would have gotten ruined, like I'm still mad about it. That's like that would be like manslaughter.
Well, and doesn't insulin in the States cost like a lot of money?
My insulin, like for, I think that I have it, I think is probably like almost $600 or $700.
Holy shit!
If I didn't have insurance. So like a 3-month supply,
I know, it's disgusting.
a 3-month supply for like a normal thing, because like I think 3-month visits between diabetes and like when their doctor visits, it's every 3 months. So like they give you a 3-month supply. It's like $1,600.
Yeah, so she could have literally ruined $1,600 worth of life-saving medication.
Probably more than that, because I had some backups.
Right, because you had just moved, right?
Yeah.
So I remember you guys were trying to like figure out the doctor changing situation. And also, like, what if you needed insulin? right?
Yeah.
Like, what if something happened and you needed insulin? I mean, it's beyond the cost.
Would have been in the emergency room in Oregon, I think.
Yeah. And then you add
And
that
then,
to it.
Yeah, and then I would have had to explain to the nurse what would have happened, and then I'm pretty sure the police probably would have gotten involved, because I think at that point,
probably.
that's medical tampering.
That's got to be a crime.
I think it's medical tampering or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm glad you didn't beat the shit out of her, Katie, because realistically, that doesn't actually help anyone. It just makes it worse. But I totally understand the desire to. Don't get me wrong.
I did too at the time, and I told her that in my younger years, it probably would have ended badly for both of us if, I haven't mellowed out. But like at this point, I was just thinking like we could just leave.
Yeah, totally. Get yourself out of the situation.
I was
Fuck
like,
this.
That's my first thought. I was like, we can just leave. And then she ended up, I think, talking to like a police officer, and he told us that like we've received mail here. You have 30 days to like evict. If they try anything, just call us. We'll come deal with it. And I was like, okay, cool.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was a crazy situation. So, well, thank you for both answering that question and Katie hearing it, because I also would be torn about wanting to hear the answer too. Yeah, now I'm thinking, I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what the answer would be if I asked Aaron that question. I don't want to know. I'm just like, I truly have no idea. And I don't want to know.
It's never been scared for me. It's more for her.
Yeah. And that makes so much sense. I'm 100% sure my husband has been scared for me. The question is, has he been scared of me? I think is the part.
Yeah, it's never been.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a difference.
Okay.
There is a huge difference.
Oh, yeah.
And now we breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you guys do have conflict, which most relationships have some sort of conflict, how do you usually go about repairing that, Katie, or both of you?
I need to come down from my anger before that can happen. I need to process my emotions and my feelings. I need to figure out why I was even upset in the first place if I don't know why. And then I usually come to him and I apologize for my behavior, because just because I have BPD, it doesn't excuse the behavior that comes along with it. You still have to take accountability for that. And then I explain to him my side. And CJ.
So generally, yeah, when we have like conflict, like we both need time for things to like settle, and then as for her to come down, and like me to also kind of calm down in the sense, because sometimes I might get frustrated because, like I said, I still have difficulty figuring out, I need to not go into fix it mode,
right? Yeah.
Which also can lead into a conflict. So, like, I just need to realize that like we just need our space, and then once that happens, we'll generally talk about it, and then we'll figure out, like a common understanding or like a solution that will make it to where it's like, oh, I get where you were coming from. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, you may not agree, but at least you can understand where the other person's coming from, which is super helpful.
Which I think is like I said, communication, super important, especially to have in a lasting relationship.
Carl, do you have a relationship with her son?
I feel like I'm building more of a relationship now.
For context, for those of you who haven't listened to the first episode, Katie's son lives with your mom, right?
Yes.
Katie? Yeah.
I'll briefly explain. Due to the last of my abusive relationship, CPS got involved, took my son, placed him with my parents. They adopted him. We all live in the same town. I'm actually at my parents' house right now as I'm recording this. My son is at a football game. They're on their way home. I take him to school every morning. I'm still 100% involved in his life. It's just my relationship with him is a little bit different now. So
yeah, he just doesn't live with you, essentially.
Correct. For now.
Yeah. So Carl, you that would be harder coming in to like if you don't live with the people.
True.
To see them all the time.
I do. I like
working on it.
She sees him every morning. I usually generally see him like probably around dinner time, pretty much every day. Like we go over there and spend time with her family, because we go over there because our dog usually spends time at her family's house to
gotcha.
With the other dog, and then generally stay there because they have a backyard. She can run around and interact and have fun. So we go over there for dinner. We'll feed her and we'll hang out and we'll spend time with them. Sometimes, I think recently he asked me to help him with his football plays in the backyard, and I kind of did that with him. So I played catch with
My heart
him.
was melting.
I was gonna say I would have been bawling my eyes out.
So right now, slowly, I'm trying to build a relationship with him. I just want to make sure that I'm making a positive impact and not trying to traumatize him like his previous relationships with male figures in his life. I don't want to reopen old.
You're not trying to totally. Well, I mean, I can tell you from this 45-minute conversation that I am 100% sure you will be a positive figure in his life because you seem like an incredible human.
He already calls him dad.
Yeah.
So.
He asked me, he's like, dude, can I call you dad? I'm like, you can call me anything you feel comfortable calling me, man. I don't mind at all. So.
Oh my God. That's so cute. Okay. That's beautiful. And Katie, can you remind me, is your abusive relationship before, is that his dad?
No, but his dad isn't great either.
But at least you don't have to see that person.
No. Yeah, thank goodness.
It's not a
thank that would suck. Frickin' heavens, man. I'm like, I could not imagine being tied to that person for
the rest of your life.
No.
Yeah, thank God. Wear condoms, folks. I don't. Something.
Funny story about that. I know his biological dad. I used to work with him. So I actually
fluke.
I actually also knew Katie before we got together, a long time ago.
When I was 18, 17, 18 years old when I was pregnant with Nathan.
I was about 20, 21. And she
weird.
So I remember.
Are you guys in a small area? Like a small town?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so it's not like a huge fluke that you knew each other.
It was kind of
a
weird coincidence that she came back and we just happened to run into each other so many years down the line. But when she brought it up, I'm like, I distinctly remember you when you were pregnant. And she's like, really?
I mean, Katie, I think you probably had other things to focus on, growing a child. So fair enough.
I distinctly remember her pregnant, and then I also remember her bringing her son in, newborn, bringing in to come pick up the biological dad.
And so, is he in your life at all?
No, he hasn't been involved in. It'll be 2 or 3 years in November that he hasn't even said a word to my son.
I think the last conversation they had was when he wanted to change his last name from his biological dad's last name. So then after that, I think his dad just is like, well,
was like, no, I'm out.
Yep, I'm out. It's not mine.
Wow.
He lost.
That's telling.
Custody, and he lost parental rights and custody on his own accord because before Nathan got placed with my parents, he got placed.
Sorry, Katie, are you cool with us using Nathan's name?
Yeah, that's fine. Nathan was with his bio dad for 3 months, and that did not work out. Lost custody and parental rights on his own accord for a completely different reason. And that's when he got placed with my parents.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. So, okay, is there anything that you guys didn't talk about that you really wanted to before I ask my last question?
I think that something that I really want to talk about is how important it is to have a supportive partner when it comes to having BPD, because it's not just the anger that comes into play. It's all of it. It's suicidal idealization, the self-harm. It's all of it. And I struggle with both of those things. And CJ's seen me at some of my lowest points. And I just think it's very important to have a supportive partner, because not just that, but a village too. Because it's hard to be by yourself when you have BPD. And so for those who are listening, I just really would like you to know that it is possible to have a healthy relationship. I didn't think it was possible. After what I'd been through, I was about ready to give up. And then CJ walked into my life. My biggest piece of advice is if you're looking for that person, stop looking, because they will find you.
I totally agree.
Yeah, our
100%.
relation. I love the aspect that like we didn't meet through a dating app. We didn't meet through we didn't meet online. We met organically,
Mm-hmm.
like just from
Yeah,
happenstance. And I think that's like the
totally.
best part. And neither of us were looking.
Yeah.
Like,
Because I find when you're looking, you have so many expectations and you're like trying to find a person. Whereas if they just kind of come into your life, it's so much, I don't know, nicer. Like it's you don't go into it going like, oh, I hope this works out. I hope I marry this person. You go into it like, oh, this person's cool. I'm gonna like
see,
spend a little bit of time with them
yeah,
and
see
see
where
what's
this
up.
goes.
I
Yeah.
remember about 3 weeks into being like, we weren't even official at that point, I don't think.
Yeah.
But he's like, I think you like me because I make you feel safe. And I'm like, no, I like you because you make me feel safe. Like,
Right.
you make me feel safe. That's why I like you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, you hadn't had that in a long time.
no, that
Yeah.
safeness, that security, that overall lovingness and caringness that he provides.
You guys are amazing. I love watching Carl smile. If you're not watching the video episode of this, you're missing like 50% of it because every time Katie talks, Carl has the cutest smile on his face. It actually is killing me inside. It's so adorable. It's literally so cute. Okay. So, Carl, can you tell me, a message of hope for somebody who has BPD, who doesn't think a loving, healthy partnership is
But
a thing for them?
it is 100% possible. Like there is way too many people in the world to think there is not somebody out there for someone with even
Mm-hmm.
with like a BPD diagnosis. I mean she found me. I mean, you found your significant other, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's possible.
Yeah.
Healthy relationships are possible for people out there with BPD. Like it's not something that you guys have to be like, "Oh, I'm never going to find that person." They're out there. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But what
Just
she
gotta wait
said,
till they come by.
yeah, just I think the best piece of advice is just focus on yourself. Try and find your identity. Who you are as a person, and I guarantee you, someone out there is going to be like, "You're cool. Let's hang out," and then it'll go from there.
Truly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is literally what happened. My husband, we met at school in university, and he was like, that girl's kind of cool. And he Googled me and then came up to me in a coffee shop and said, hey, I Googled you because you seem really cool. And that's how we started talking.
Yeah.
It's like me searching for CG on Facebook.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like total fluke. We were both sleeping with other people. And it was just like, when it happens, it happens.
And when
Exactly.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Totally.
just you don't know until you know. Everybody, it's such a cliche saying.
I know. And when you don't know, you're like, that's not true, blah,
That's
blah, blah.
not
And then you
true.
know. And
That's
then you
never
find
gonna
it and you're
happen.
like, oh my God.
Yeah, I had
I
numerous
know.
people tell me that when I would actively look, and they'd be like, just stop looking. And I'm like, that's never gonna work.
And here
Look
you
where
are.
I am now.
I know. It's so cute.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it so much. Okay. Well, thank you both. You are incredible. I love your relationship and I really appreciate you coming on. I know this is like all of like the super feeler partners are like, hey, you want to come on a podcast and talk about our relationship? And the guys or whoever is always like, okay, I guess so. So I really appreciate you being willing.
Oh yeah.
And
I mean, like I said,
this is going to inspire a lot of people.
like I said, anything for her. I want her to be happy. Like it might be
And
a cliche statement, happy wife, happy life. I mean,
But it's true.
Yeah.
It's so fucking true. Everybody's unhappy.
Well, I don't like seeing her unhappy either, so it's like
no, nobody does. Yeah, it's just so beautiful to see healthy relationships that have that communication and support,
like
regardless of anything else going on.
And I never thought that I'd have this.
No.
I never thought that I'd have this. I never thought that I'd find my person. And I did. And I feel so grateful and so lucky to have him. in my life.
I'm so happy for you both. Thank you so much for listening to the Superfeeler podcast. This episode was recorded on the traditional and unceded territory of the Matsqui and Sumas First Nations. If you'd like to learn more about the Superfeeler podcast, share your story, or participate in the Superfeelers Club, which is our peer support group, it's totally free, virtual, and open to anyone who experiences intense emotions or has borderline personality disorder, please check out the link in our show notes or go to laurieedmondson.com. If you would like to support the show, we would very much appreciate it. There's an option to do monthly small donations at whatever denomination you'd like, and you get bonus content, extra resources, and extra connection to me throughout. That can be found on patreon.com/superfeeler, or again in the notes below. Thanks again, and have a great day.